Greetings, Warriors. Griffin, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Now, welcome back to some more Reddit Evil 9 news, actually, like real talk. So this actually got released, I want to say 9 or so hours ago. It's actually been up here all night, and I did not even know about this, but I saw it on a YouTube short today, and then I had to find the video, and I have it. So what we're going to be looking at is actually a small snippet of the combat in Reddit Evil 9 Requiem. Apparently there was an interview with the dev team or something like that, from what I understand the backstory to this, and they were allowed to record like a small little snippet, and then this just got put out. And it's all Japanese, everything, the audio, all that stuff like that, so we're not gonna understand what they're saying. It seems like this was shown like maybe on Japanese TV or something like that, and we managed to actually get like a little snippet and a little footage of it. So it's only like 30 some odd seconds, so let's go ahead and get into it. So right now they're showing first person. That's the director. Okay, you can quick. Oh, okay. That's what the pistol sounds like. Looks like we're going back to zombies. Bam. Okay. Oh, another zombie. Ah, the running animation is different. Okay, so that looks like RE2 remake a little bit. And that's literally it, guys. That's literally it. So when we go back into it, I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and mute this. There we go. So it looks like, from what I can see here, so like in this first little part right here, we see a little bit of first person, right? And then we keep on going. Yeah, that's the homie. That's the director. Okay, he's playing it. And like I said, from what I understand, it's supposed to be like a interview or something. I'm not understanding the backstory to this, or where this was filmed at, or where it's happening or anything. I'm gonna assume Capcom headquarters and all that stuff like that, right? But I'm not sure what the background is to it. But from what I understand, this was like an interview or something. And so the first thing I can see here, we got the natural like quick selection that they had, switching between your weapons really quick or anything like that. This was obviously, of course, I would say this has been going on since, I want to say RE5, like the quick select for your weapons and stuff like that. So they got this back. So from what it looks like, you got your regular pistol that's right here. You got that weapon that we've seen in the trailer. It looks like a badass weapon. It looks like, I wish they shown this. Like I said, the weapon is so dang big, it looks like Barry's gun. And this, I'm not sure, I can't see, but I'm assuming maybe it's another pistol and that's what she's choosing. But the icon down here looks the same. But usually whatever's glowing up here is the weapon that you chose when you do quick select, but I could be wrong. Anywho, so we're going into this, right? All right, ADS. All right, obviously the first headshot, and then obviously that to stun it, and then the director missed. Now we see how the director plays the game. My aim's looking like mine. And obviously she gets bit. She's getting bitten. And it looks like zombies are back from what I'm seeing in this freaking gameplay, man. And going back a little bit, right? You actually get to see right here the heartbeat sensor that they've always been having, in Resident Evil. That's a staple. And so yeah, she's injured. We actually got to see this when she got attacked by as they want to call her, Big Mama now. All right, but I just call her homegirl. Big baby. And then as we move here, and something that I was just calling out, right? So she gets bit, right? You got the animation of her getting bit, and then she moves. Now obviously she's injured, right? So she's like in caution, maybe danger level, depending on what you look at. I'm gonna say caution because usually you'll have like a vignette of when she's definitely like hurt. So we go in here. So as you can see, her running animation. Now, in her running animation, it looks like an RE2 remake. That's what it feels like and looks like. When Leon or Claire, when they get injured or anything and they run, they're leaning forward heavily like that, and and they're hurt. We got a little snippet of that. Let me go back. Yeah, she's not in her normal running animation. She is actually hurt. So if she's in this kind of running animation, is more than likely caution. Of course, when the zombie grabs her, that she's managed to slip away and everything, and that was also an RE2 remake. So like the flow of this and the combat, it looks like RE2 remake. They're using that as a development for the combat. It's definitely not fast paced and everything like RE4 remake. Now, who's to say that the other character in the game, let's just say it is Leon Scott Kennedy, right? Who's to say that if you're Grace, this is the style of combat that you have, right? But then if you switch it to Leon or whomever the other character that's coming in with an arsenal of weapons, their combat is more RE4 remake based, where you can melee, kick, and all that stuff like that. That would actually be pretty sick, because now you got two best of both worlds and everything between the characters. When you're playing as Grace, you're gonna get RE2 remake kind of combat, and if you're playing as the other character, I'm just gonna say Leon for ish and giggles, because I'm not gonna lie, I personally think he's in the game. I'm going to assume that combat would be RE4 remake based. That's just my assumption, if we can see here, or maybe let's just say, I'm not gonna say maybe assumption, but hey, that would kind of make sense. You know, kind of makes sense. Let's go back into the audio real quick. I want to see how hear the pistol sound and everything like that, because we did get to hear a little bit of it.
その開発現場では新たなコンセプト、病みつきになる恐怖を打ち出し、恐怖体験への没入感をさらに高めようとしている。
Now, if zombies are back, is it like the T virus or what is making the zombies come back, you know? Okay, and that's the video. All right, y'all. So that's really it right there, man. I personally, I'm gonna be honest. I saw some comments and everything on this actually before I started reacting to it and look at this. And a lot of the fans are actually kind of divided on this. And I'm not sure. I personally liked what I saw personally. I thought it was cool. All right. And I'm not just saying that because it's a new Resident Evil and I'm being biased or anything like that, but I didn't mind the combat in RE2 remake. I didn't mind it. And I think if the fans are divided, they're like, what happened to the fast combat in RE4 remake? And it's like, okay, I get what they're saying, you know, because like, don't get me wrong, that combat is fun. I was like, but like I was saying earlier, who's to say that when you're playing as Grace, that's the combat that you're going to get? Because Grace is not that experienced individual that, you know, like, you know, Jill, Leon, Claire, Chris, you know, those kind of peeps, you know what I'm saying? We got homegirl, she's a noob into all this stuff like that. So her combat or how she flows is going to resonate with the combat that was in RE2 remake, because Leon and Claire and all them weren't doing all them kicking backflip suplexes and stuff like that. You know, that wasn't going on. But in RE4 remake, you know, you have Leon as experience, he's kicking some ass. So that fits perfectly in the RE4 remake combat. So who knows if the other character, I'm just gonna say Leon, like I said it before, who's to say when you're controlling as him or the other character, that's the combat that you're gonna get. Maybe they switch off. And if that's the case, that would be a fantastic concept, personally. So now you know whichever character you're playing, that's the combat that you're gonna get whenever they switch off, or however the heck they're gonna do it. So that's at least my prediction on it. But I personally like what I'm seeing personally. I have no complaints. It's cool that zombies are back. And who's to say if they're like remember how like in RE6 every character had like their own type of enemies and everything? Like Leon had zombies mainly. Chris had like the militant type. They were able to use weapons, knives, all that stuff like that. And Sherry was kind of like a mix. So who's to say that when you're playing as Grace, these are the kind of enemies you're getting, zombies, and if you're playing as the other person, you're getting different kind of enemies. You could also do that. That would be kind of like they're taking POV from, or taking that cue from RE6, because that's how that was. But we don't know. At least that's my prediction. I think that's a solid prediction. I personally think, if I do say so myself, but I could be wrong. But at least one thing for sure, we got zombies back, and I'm hell excited for it.